Let's jump right into it because I have a lot of yapping to do, okay? I have a lot of ARC Raiders yapping to do. So much so that I made a list, okay? So let's start from the beginning, okay? I have been, just strolling around the timelines. I'm trying to keep up with all the ARC Raiders discussions, ARC Raiders conversations, ARC Raiders news, patch notes, community discussions, keeping up with the Discord, all that, yada yada yada, so forth, so on. And last week, there was some talk going around, um, some kind of very isolated takes. And I ended up posting a TikTok in regards to these takes. And if we take a look at that TikTok, it obviously resonated with a lot of people because it's currently sitting at
So Arc Raiders has officially been out for 3 weeks.
57,000 views, okay? And 600 comments. Now, what was I talking about? It was in reference to some talk that I had been seeing on Twitter in regards to full-time streamers claiming that now they're just bored with the game because these are people who are full-time creators, full-time streamers. They play games as their job, right? So naturally, if you're playing a game every single day, 4 to 5 days a week, sometimes these people are staying up all night, 7 days a week, playing a game, then naturally you're going to finish everything super quick. And so the sum of the sediment is, now that I've finished everything, I've leveled up everything. I've leveled up to 75. I leveled up on my benches. I finished all the quests. And now apparently some people are saying that they're bored with the game. For example, a serious question about Arc Raiders. You get to level 75, you build out your tree, you have everything completed, and stash is filled with loot you wanted. Why keep playing? Yeah, there's many reasons why to keep playing. You have to remember, and this is what I was talking about in that video, not every person is a full-time streamer, okay? Some of us are regular, schmegular, degular people that have lives, busy lives, outside of the hobbies that we like to do. One of them, right, the hobby of gaming, okay? So to say that, to try to even imply that the game is boring when literally a good amount of the player base is nowhere near the actual player base. The realistic player base is nowhere near done with the game. And that is what I was talking about in this video that I posted. And the comments were, the video hit the right people because in these comments, I'm seeing people, the people that I was talking about. So you got people over here saying that I'm still level 15. Like I work 12 hours a day. Like I only have 2 hours to give, maybe 3 to 4 hours a week to give to the game. And I just hit level 7. Like this is the norm. This is the norm. This is the player base. This is the actual player base. A lot of these players are nowhere near, all of these 480,000 concurrent players, they're nowhere near done with the game. So the thing about it is I just don't want people to think that they have to rush through this game just because some full-time streamers that stream 8 hours a day are done with the game. You do not have to be done with the game. I don't want people to feel pressured, right? This take that I put out there, resonated with a lot of people, and I'm glad. I'm glad because one thing about it is you have to remember that gaming is a hobby. There's a big difference between playing games as a job, especially for multiple years. A lot of these big streamers have been big streamers for multiple years now. They've been doing this for 5 years, 6 years, maybe some even 10 years, since Twitch has been around, right? And then there's the average regular person who still loves games for the sake of loving games as a hobby, right? So once your hobby becomes your job, it's a very different situation, to the point where you can't really represent the realistic gamer community and the gamers that are like regular people, because most of us are just regular people with regular jobs. And this is coming from a person who is a streamer with a full-time job and a life outside of this hobby that I do, which is streaming and making content, right? The passion is for the games. The passion and the love is for the games. The hobby and the hobby comes with being a streamer, right? But some of these people, this is their job now. This is their life. So it's a very different situation. And so these takes come out and it's just like, oh, they're not great ones. You know what I mean? So it was mostly in reference to this whole tweet that I saw. And this is the entire tweet that I was referencing in that video on TikTok. Some people in the comments thought that I was referring to what this guy specifically was saying. And yes, I was talking about that too, but there was a larger discussion among streamers about being bored with the game, or the game having not enough content, right? On top of that, of course, we have this where, I would rather receive new content over bug fixing, which is wild, because it's just like, how can you enjoy the new content when you get it if there's still game-breaking bugs? And there's still game-breaking bugs in the game. Like, people are hiding in walls and shooting people. They just patched the freaking door exploit, which we'll talk about. We'll talk about the updated patch notes. There's still, people are falling through the map. People are glitching like mid-fight, and they're losing fights and losing their gear. These are major things. So it's like, when the new content does come, how are you going to enjoy it if these things are happening? Like, that makes the game not enjoyable, and it makes people not want to play, right? So that doesn't make sense at all to say. It's like, just because you stream 12 hours a day and you play the same game, you might feel like there's not enough content, but you're not the average gamer. Like, you're not. For the average gamer, there's plenty of content still to do in Arc Raiders, and we're already about to be in December, and there's more coming. So I know Embark got us. I know the devs got us. I know they see the success of the most amazing game that they've created, and I know they got plenty of shit. They got so much shit coming. I know it for a fact, right? So I would prefer to have patience for the new content, and I want them to make sure the game works. So that way, when we get the content, we can enjoy it in peace. We not falling through the map. We not getting shot from people hiding in walls. You know what I mean? That's common sense, right? And so, and yeah, Lance, he retweeted this. Oh God, I can't talk. Yeah, he retweeted this, and this is what I was referring to in my TikTok video. Like, this game isn't made for people who play 8 to 12 hours a day as a job. It's really not. I don't think full-time streamers were the audience for this game at all. Of course, yes, you want streamers to play your games live and get more people to play it and show how fun it is and have these fun interactions, and yeah. But the core audience for Arc Raiders is for people who may have like never played an extraction shooter before. This is like the most noob friendly extraction shooter, and it creates competition in the market in this genre, because yes, you have Tarkov, yes, you have Arena Breakout Infinite, but this one is special because it's for that casual gamer. It's for that person who's new to the shooters to get like a slow entrance into the genre. I think that's who this game is for. It's for everybody, but I don't think it's for power players. So I really don't. I don't think that was the goal. And so I agree. It's like, how are you finding boredom just because you did all the quests and stuff? There's so many interactions to still have in this game. The proximity chat, the communication among players is the game. That's the part that will never die. Like, there's infinite amounts of interactions that you can have with people in this game. And that's the fun part. You also still have the PvP, which I'm definitely on the side of PvP. I've talked about it before. PvP is needed. Even the devs said it's needed. It was needed. It's a part of the game. So you can PvP people. That's what I'm doing. That's my plan today. We're going to practice PvP and practice getting better at PvP. You can get your PvP on, you can get your PvE on. There's still trials to do, and those are brand new every week. So it's like, I can't with some of these streamers. You know what I mean? The takes are very isolated, and it's unfortunate, but they just don't represent the average gamer, unfortunately. You know what I mean? That's just what that is. And then what else happened? What else happened? What else? What else? Oh, the patch. So let's talk about the patch. So we did get a patch recently last week. And if you haven't seen it, it's very funny. But we did get some fixes. So let's go through the patch. So this is patch 1.4. So we got some content and bug fixes. They fixed the exploit, mainly the exploit of glitching through doors. Now, they called it a hot fix, and very clever, very clever. Here is the reason why it is called a hot fix. So we can clearly see a person deciding to try to exploit. And as soon as he goes in, he is set ablaze and died. This reminds me of oh shoot, what am I thinking about? I'm thinking about like GTA Online, and like there's been games in the past that have like punished people for cheating in like very cheeky and very clever ways. And it's really, really cool. I know that, I forgot, was it World of Warcraft? I think it was World of Warcraft. I think back in the day they found some cheeky way to punish cheaters. So I love that. I think that's great. And it just kind of puts a funny band-aid on an exploit while they're trying to actually fix it, which I think is a W. That shows that they care about the player base, and they're trying to get these things under control. So they are prioritizing bug fixing. Sorry, streamers. Sorry. They are fixing the bugs, okay? And then we're going to fill it out today, because from what I'm hearing, the streets is getting very unfriendly out here. And that's why I need to practice PvP more often. I need to get better, because when I get put in situations, I tend to always die. And that's my goal for today. But I saw this clip and I felt like disgusted, to be honest. I felt really bad for this guy, because look what happens here. It's kind of wild about how people camp and do this. So it starts where he's trying to go to extracts. He just trying to get out of there, man.
Oh my god.
Crazy.
Oh my god.
Crazy. That's very slime behavior. It's very not good. You know what I mean? I hate that for him. Right when he was about to extract, dude just decides to just not let him do it. And that's just very unfortunate, So it's getting a little hot in the streets, okay?